Local SEO can feel overwhelming and complicated, but it doesn't have to be, nor does it need to be expensive. In this video, we're going to cover some free local SEO tools that can really help you take your Google business profile to the next level and really have you outranking the competitors. If all that sounds good to you, then let's jump in. Okay, so the first tool that we're going to be looking at is something called GMB Everywhere. This is a Chrome extension. You can download it from in the description. If I just open this up here, you can see it in the Chrome Web Store here. This is a Google Business Profile audit tool for local SEO, essentially. There's some free things you can do with this. There's also a paid version of it. So today, we're just going to be focused on the free things that we can do, and they are limited into how often you can do them. But I would definitely recommend the paid version of this. But again, all we're going to be going through today is the free version of this. So if I do a search for something like Southampton plumbers, we get some ads in here and we get the local pack in here. And what you'll notice straight away is having this enabled in Google Chrome adds in a bunch of new things underneath each local listing in here. So just to see it a bit more comprehensively, I'm going to click through to maps so we can see those results a little bit more clearer. So we get the maps load up, we get everything in here, and then you'll see these also then start to load in. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice, we have a thing at the top called local scan. I've already ran this for this as a search term, but if you were to click this, it'll start to do a local scan, and what you will actually end up with is a page like this. Now, you can see here that I've been able on the free account to run one audit this cycle, and you have to upgrade your account to be able to do more of these across various different search terms and things like that. What this has done is taken a look at the 19 businesses that show up for a search for Southampton plumbers, and it's pulled all that information into a place where we can easily see what our competitors are doing and maybe what we're doing if we've been chucked into that list as well, and we're already showing there for some of these things. Now, it's pulled in a total of 19 businesses. 24 unique categories have been used across those. There's 4 unique primary categories. So again, that's a good indicator that a lot of these businesses are all using the same primary category, which means we should definitely be using that same primary category because it's what everyone else is doing. So we should be doing it too. It shows the average number of categories across all 19 listings, which is just over 4. 10 maximum categories are selected, and there's always one category selected for the businesses. Now, if we jump down a bit further into the data, what can we see? First of all, you get business rank versus the number of categories. Now here we're really looking for any sort of correlation. So if we were seeing the first top 3 listings all had 4 categories in there, what we'd want to be doing with our listing is looking at those, what categories are selected, and probably using all those as well. We can see with this one that actually a lower number of categories is what's really getting the rankings here. So keeping them concise, keeping them down to the main services, which in most cases it's going to be plumber. You've probably got things like plumber, bathroom renovator, drainage service, and gas engineer in second. But mainly they've all got plumber pretty much as the primary category here. So again, if we were plumbers in Southampton, this is what we're wanting to replicate, and we want to keep them on the short side. We don't want to be adding to more really than the 4 average categories. More than that, we'd probably be seeing it drop off a little bit. Category count distribution. So again, it's showing the number of businesses that have however many categories. So again, there's a good chunk in here. There's 4 that have over 6, that have 6, 2 that have 5 categories, and so on. Mainly, we're seeing again the lower numbers. So again, that would correlate to we should also be looking to do a lower number of categories on our listing. We can also see all the categories that are in here. We can click copy all, that copies it to your clipboard. You can paste that out then anywhere you want, and it gives us an idea of what percentage is being used across each of these categories. So it's a really, really useful tool from basically just trying to understand what our competitors are doing in terms of the categories that are on their listings. We can also click into services to see what services, again, these businesses have listed on their profiles, and the number of services that they have listed. So here we're seeing almost the opposite. So we're seeing people who are ranking first, second, third have at least 90 services selected in here, and we get a full list of what the people in first have used. Second, again, they're using 169 different categories, and we can see in here all of the ones that they have selected. So this is really useful for sort of trying to understand what the competitors are doing and what we should be replicating from them, and what we should be adding to our listings essentially. What we're doing is coming in here, looking at the first, second, third positions, seeing what services they offer. Is there anything that they're mentioning that we do that we're not covering in our listing? If there is, copy those out, get those added into the listing straight away as a service. What we can then jump into is reviews. So again, here it gives us an average rating of reviews, but it also gives us a bit of an idea of the business rank versus the number of reviews. Now, there are certain business categories where reviews play slightly more of an important part in not necessarily just the ranking, but also the click-through rates that you're going to get and also inquiries that you're going to get coming through. And this helps us see the person who's in position one, how many reviews have they got and what average rating they get in. So here, first has 65 reviews with a 4.7 star. Second only has 42 reviews but with 4.7 star. Third has 27 reviews with a 5-star rating, and so on and so forth. As we get further in, we can sort of see that information again just displayed for the other ranks in there. Again, what we're looking for here, is there any correlation between the number of reviews and the search position and also the average rating? If there is, and we're seeing the first, second and third seeing them rank really well, we're obviously going to want to push for new reviews on our listing to bring us in line with them and also be able to go on and outperform them essentially. Location, again, that can play a big part in local SEO. The clue's in the name. However, this just gives you what the data you would see from Google Maps, just to sort of shows where the search is almost pretty much done from and what position all of these are showing in relative to where the search has been carried out from. Again, just a bit of useful information in there that you can see for each of the businesses. Business hours, again, can be quite important. So a lot of these sorts of service-based businesses will just have, say, like 9 to 5 on their listing, because that's the hours that they operate. They may do the odd job out of those hours, but they don't want to be contacted out of those. So they'll usually choose certain opening hours. What we want to look for in here, again, is there any unique patterns? Are they unique to the first top 3 listings? But also, how many hours a day some of these businesses are saying they're open, because when someone does a search, the listings that get shown, it highly depends on the time that you've done the search and what businesses are open. Google have a tendency to not promote businesses that are currently closed as much, mainly because obviously they want to show the open businesses to people so they can get in touch with them straight away. And obviously you can see a bit of a pattern in here in terms of 24 hours, 8 listings in there, so 42% of them have 24 hours. 42% equally have closed on certain days, and we can see in here sort of the hour comparison across the board and things like that. So again, really useful information that we can look at on the current day. We can change this to a Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day, to get a bit of an idea. Is there any correlation between opening hours and where each sort of listing ranks currently? Attributes, again, looking in here, basically the same sort of thing. Do any of the listings that are in the top 3 positions usually have any correlation there, and things that we should be looking to add to ours that we don't already have? Are they listing absolutely everything out? Are they only listing a few out? We're looking for any sort of correlation there to see, should we be doing this or should we not? In this case, I'd say it's very varied across the listings. There's probably nothing to do in this case for this one. You've then also got miscellaneous in here, so the business rank versus profile features and things like that. So again, does it have a website? Does it have a phone number? Does it have a full address? Service area businesses never tend to show as well as ones that have a fully fledged address that's shown on there, just because of the way that Google's algorithm works. However, in this case, we're seeing the top 3 all have three profile features: website, phone number, full address on there. Fourth, we're seeing they only have the website and phone number. If fourth added in a visible full address, there'd be a good chance potentially they could leapfrog into the top 3 positions. So this is the sort of stuff we'd be using this for. To look at these, again, this is absolutely free. We're able to do 1 audit in each cycle. If this is something you would want to carry out across multiple searches, I'd definitely recommend clicking upgrade account. Now, other things that this tool can do that you'll see that we get in here, we've got basic. If we were to click this will run an audit just for that business. So it pulls out all the information that we can see in terms of address, website, phone number, what categories are on that listing, what the CID number is. Again, most cases you won't need to know anything like that. Knowledge panel IDs, again, you probably won't need to know those unless you were specifically trying to get certain things to show up in search and link to them. It gives you the links all down here for what you would want. So if you were trying to get reviews for your business, clicking this here will take you straight through to a page that sort of forces people into just the review section. Now, there's an AI section in here that if you were to click, Gives you a whole bunch of AI tools. Again, a lot of these are more for the paid plan, but you've got a GMB or Google Business Profile post generator. Opening this up will allow you to feed it some information, and it'll basically create you a Google Business post based on a bunch of information you give it, which means you don't have to spend hours writing out posts. You can just get this in here, hit copy, put that into your listing, get it published, and you're getting good, well-written posts on there that really should drive hopefully click-throughs to the website and obviously drive engagement across the business profile. Teleport. Now what this does is allows you to teleport directly where they are on the map and hit teleport me here. So I could say if I was here and hit teleport me here, this will essentially do a Google search as if I was in that position specifically, just to show you sort of where you rank as a business if you were to do the search from that area. Again, you can only do so many of these per cycle, which essentially means per month. But again, great tool. If you're a small business, you're just doing this yourself, really gives you some insightful information. The next tool that we're going to be looking at is called the Jepto's free category tool. When you do a search for this, we'll have a link in the description, but if you were to go through Google, just make sure the spelling that it doesn't try to correct it to Jepto, but you're essentially clicking on this top link here. Now, what this is, Jepto have a bunch of tools that are all paid for to help with sort of like local marketing and things like that. However, what we're interested in is their Google Business Profile discovery tool for categories. So now within here, you'll see this giant sort of map down here that are all connected by nodes, and each one of these has a different category assigned to them. So in here, again, we've got things like screen repair service, button speaker repair, button repair, water damage, links into mobile phone repair shop. If I move this over here, power button repair, case repair, software problems, charger port repair, things like that. It basically maps out every single possible category that you can have in a Google Business Profile, lists it all out in here in a way that's, it's a nice way to consume it. Very difficult to use though. So now what we're going to be looking at in here is, if I just search for plumber, this is going to show me a map that's related to just the categories that are related to my business or the business that I'm carrying out local SEO for. Now, it's going to give you top level categories as well as service name within Google Business Profile, so that you get a bit of an idea what you should be using and where you should be using it. So looking down here, main category is plumber. Again, in the services section, we see water damage restoration service, fire damage restoration service, plumber's merchant, contractor, plumbing pipe repair. It gives us a full list of all the possible categories and services that we can be showing on our listing, and also what the similarity is to the original base keyword that we put in here. Now, there are thousands of these. Google changes them all the time, so it's good to keep on top of this. It's not a one and done thing for your listing. It's something you should be checking in monthly, maybe every other month, just to make sure that your business has the latest set of categories and services that Google have enabled on your listing, to make sure competitors aren't beating you out there. If you were to click on this here, it will focus you in on the node specifically for, in this case, sort of water damage restoration, fire damage restoration service. So you can see there what exactly it includes and what's sort of related to that as a service, to know should we be adding this or not. But this is very powerful. We're going to dive into this in a whole other video and talking about business categories and why they're important. But for now, just use this to help you find the best categories and services for your business listing. The next tool that we're going to be looking at is called GS Location Changer. Again, this is a Google Chrome extension that you can add. Doing a search for this or clicking the link that's in the video description will take you through to the Google Chrome web store, where you can just click to install this in Chrome. One button click and you'll see it appear up here in your extension section. Now, what this allows you to do is go to Google. If I just open Maps up into here, now I can click up here and I can either type in a location, I can give it a language or geolocation. So in here I could type, say, like United States English. I can give it a latitude and longitude. You can enable overwrite, which ticking this turns on your fake location. So now if I was to come up here and say, if I were to do a search for Birmingham, Alabama in here, doing this, and now I do search for plumber and hit enter, this is going to do the search for me, show me as though I'm doing the search from Birmingham, Alabama, show me the local businesses that are in there, so I can get a bit of an idea and feel for what the businesses are that are showing up in this area. Again, if I want to change this and put New York here, and getting an idea of what the actual local search results are in here by spoofing our location to make it think that we're actually in that place. We'll try this one more time and we'll do something completely different, and we'll try Barcelona, Spain. So again, if we just open Google Maps, it's jumped us straight to Barcelona. Again, we can do a search for plumber and see what that returns here. So we get a bit of an idea of what the local search results are, various different towns, cities, villages, things like that. Allows us to really see who the competition are in those areas and understand what they're doing and things like that. This can be coupled with the GMB Everywhere tool, so you can have them both active at the same time, jump around locations with this, be able to run audits with that and pull in category information from each of those. So you can look around if you're a franchise or you're a business that operates over a wide area, you can see what people in various different areas are doing with their listings. Now, the final tool that we're going to cover in this video is one that comes in many forms. There's many pieces of software and websites and software as a service that offer this. However, the one we're going to look at today is Localo. This allows you to do a free search for your business to see where it ranks locally on a map and get a bit of an idea of how well it ranks against your competitors. So again, we're going to have the link in the description to the free local rank checker that they have. There is a paid version of this that allows you to run these searches daily, weekly, monthly, however you choose. However, what we're going to do in here is search for a business. So I'm just going to type in Manchester plumber. I'm just going to pick one of these as Zodiac Plumbing and Heating as a bit of an idea. It's then going to ask us to add some keywords. So again, we don't want to mention near me in here. We want to try and avoid questions. We want things that would return a local map pack on search, as really that's what we care about, is getting found in that local map pack. So things like dentist New York, electrician, roofing contractor LA are all fine. Dentist near me, Steve's Constructions, or how to fix my sink, how to fix a leaky shower, things like that we shouldn't really be doing a search for to check in here. So in this case, I'm just going to run the one. I'm going to click plumber, and again in here then maybe we're going to tick gas engineer as well, and then we're just going to click check current position for gas engineer. What this is now going to do, and you'll see as it starts pulling through in here, it does the search to show the dead center will be, the middle node will be where our business is. So we're currently, if we're Zodiac Plumbers, we can see that we're ranking third for this specific search term of gas engineer from this area in Manchester. Each of these nodes indicates where the rankings would be essentially and what the business visibility is. So in this case, it's only 16% and how difficult it is to actually rank in that area. Now again, this is only a free tool, so it's not going to give you all the information. You can see all these sort of nodes here around here that are all blocked off. You're not going to be able to see those unless you go into the paid version. There is a number of services out there that offer this sort of thing, and we're going to run through those in a separate video.